Warning, this podcast contains Klaus.
And spoilers.
And some other stuff, too.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the E19 podcast for the originals, Season 2, Episode 19, When the Levee Breaks. I'm your host, Dom. With me, I just totally blanked out. What was his name? The guy that would play the trumpet in Season 1. He's dead now.
I thought he played a violin.
No, there was a guy who...
Whatever.
It was like a bugle or whatever.
That,
he did.
That's him, right there.
It's not... no.
No? Oh.
You got the hat?
Yeah, it's the exact same hat.
Hey, I learned something the other day shopping for that hat. That is called a newsboy.
Oh. Well, with me is Nikki.
Hello?
And Mike.
Hi.
How's it going?
It goes well.
The guy's name is really going to bother me now through the whole rest of the show. It was like it began with a D or a T, and it was like Deegan, Tegan, something. I don't...
You keep going.
Yes.
I will find it.
So, would you guys think of this episode?
It was a good episode. I have not had a bad episode of the originals yet.
No, there's not. There's no such thing.
So
Tiari.
Tiari. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. That's Tiari right there.
That guy. I forgot about that guy.
I liked him.
I liked him too. But
Anyway, what'd you guys think of this episode?
It was good.
It was
It was
great.
so good.
It was very good.
Did you like Dahlia, like right at the beginning of the episode, coming in as Josephine?
And then Klaus, I actually asked myself this question once. I'm like, why doesn't Klaus just, kick somebody's head clean off their shoulders? Well, he punched her head clean off her shoulders.
Klaus decided to become the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Off
Yeah,
of
but-
their
With
head.
their head.
He didn't use an axe or guillotine. He used a good old fist.
Yeah, but it was actually really cool because I was like, why is Joseph... I'm like, Josephine was dead last week. I'm like, what the... Why?
Well, she
She's
obviously
there?
had that,
And then, yeah, and then you see the
sash
on
underneath.
No, it wasn't a sash. It was like a neck...
Choker.
Yeah, neck choker. It was like a satin choker almost. And then as the conversation is going on, blood starts pouring out of it, and it starts oozing down her neck. And I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of creepy." I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
They realized really quickly that it was Dahlia. So, but Dahlia is starting to become a force to be reckoned with.
She is extremely cocky, confident, and she's underestimating all of them. Especially Haley. She's underestimating Haley.
Right. She is completely assured of her, her dominance in this situation. Mm-hmm. Especially after last week, she figures, hey, this is the only weapon you had that could kill me? Well, guess what? It's gone now.
Yeah, she pretty much thinks she's invincible at this point. She strolls right in to try to take Hope, and there's the magical barrier. But she's like, you know what? I got time. I could sit and wait for this thing to come down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, she even says, she's like, yeah, no, not doing that. Even she's not that dumb. She's not going to walk into a room that's going to strip her of her power and then have...
If she can sense power from other beings, I'm pretty sure she can sense a freaking barrier.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the barrier was it going to strip her of her power? I thought it was keeping her out of it.
It was just going to weaken her if she walked through, and then she'd be easy prey for Haley, I guess.
The spell was a magic nullifying field or whatever. Anything in that building or in the room was unable to perform any magic whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And a witch who can't perform magic is just a simple little human.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Haley, being the hybrid that she is, would tear her to pieces.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She should have went into that room.
Mm-hmm.
That would have a quick end to this story. So
yes, it would have. So it wasn't going to happen.
no.
Mom's annoyed by this story, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's just I knew something. I knew the whole like everybody's gonna be on the baby, like they're gonna want to destroy it for so many reasons.
Destroyed.
They want us to. They want to just take her, and
You say destroyed instead of like killed. So I instantly, I'm like, this baby is no longer a baby. It is now an object.
it is in a lot of people's eyes. Hope is just an object of power for Klaus. That's how people see her.
Mm.
So I mean, I knew that was coming, and knowing that that's what it was and how it is, it's just kind of disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Do you see hope lasting? Like, maybe not necessarily this season, but do you think she's gonna make it? She's gonna grow up eventually, or?
Well, I think that somehow they're going to be able to just keep it so that she can control people. She can be taught, and she can control herself, and she's going to go live with Rebecca
Something like that, yeah.
again. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. So, unfortunately, I predicted something last week.
You did predict it, and I countered that prediction with it could either be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I did agree with your prediction. One of them had to die.
I wasn't expecting so soon. As much as I called it, I was not expecting the next episode.
And I sat there, I was like, wow, holy shit, I was waiting for the finale for this.
I mean, it makes sense, because, I mean, Klaus took the blame for it, right? When everyone was accused. Clearly Dahlia that did it, but Klaus took the blame. Why?
The it is Aiden getting killed. We'll go with that, because we're beating around that bush. Klaus...
Why? Because he said he wants people to fear him so that he can control them.
Right, and you saw his face, and he's standing there like, you know, they're all accusing him and staring at him, and I for a second thought Elijah was going to, like, pick it off his face, like, no, he didn't. Like, he has no idea who did it, or anything like that.
It just logically does not make sense. I know what Klaus was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But why would you want to turn everybody against each other while you're having, like, such a powerful witch around?
Because
don't you want everybody to team up and band together and work together to defeat her?
But he never trusts anybody. He's paranoid. Everybody's an enemy to him. So
The thing is, they weren't going to work together anyways.
that
He had, he had burned down that bridge that was just getting built with Freya.
Mm-hmm.
He threw around Aiden, and so Jackson didn't trust him anymore because Aiden told the truth. And there's just so many Haley and Jackson wanted to run away, and he was like, no, you ain't going nowheres. And so there was a bunch of just problems from the very get-go. So he's like, fine, I'm just going to take the blame.
He took the blame. He revealed to Cammy that he actually didn't do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Cammy knows. Why reveal that to Cammy? Like, I don't know. Cammy hasn't been around in like 4 episodes, and now she comes back and learns like Klaus's new biggest secret immediately.
There was a moment where he was getting really close to her, and he was having like, it seemed like he was doing this really heartfelt thing, and he's like, I can be really sincere, but I could still be telling you a lie, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could go to the cat. He's doing that whole like, oh, we could, this could be resolved. We go to a cafe. We can have a nice talk. And he's like, could be sincere and still lying to you, like right now. Like, we're not gonna go to that fucking cafe because that's just not gonna happen.
Right.
I like what Klaus said as he was walking off. He's like, be burdened with the truth that no one would believe, or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, because Cammy could just start going off and, no, Klaus didn't do this, and no one's going to believe her.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, he told me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe you, Cammy. Sure, just, you're starting to sound like your uncle.
Yes. Oh, God, that's terrible.
Too soon?
Oh,
Sorry, Cammy.
Fuck. That was terrible.
Oops.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah. But, so, Klaus, instead of, like, trusting even Elijah with his plan to how he's gonna take Dahlia down. He's sitting there fucking painting a mural on this little, not a mural, but he's painting I don't even know what he's painting on this canvas.
He's
we found out.
art.
We found out why. But I mean, yes, at that moment, it's like, why the fuck are you painting when there's more things that you could be doing, like maybe protect people? But no, you're painting a goddamn picture. But we know why, because it was actually part of his plan. He put his
art
papa's
was his outlet.
No. He put his father's ashes into the paint.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
Your ashes, Michael, are in the paint.
My name and his name are spelled entirely differently.
Prove it.
Mikael versus Michael.
That's not proving, you're just talking.
Those are just letters.
He's going to hold up his license, and then everybody on the podcast is going to see his address. That'll be great.
No, here's the thing. I don't live at the address listed on my license.
Regardless. So.
Look right there. I'm covering the address. See? Michael. Look at that. Spelled differently.
That proves nothing. So. You can't logic me. That doesn't work.
Honey.
I am not. No.
You're no help.
No.
Yeah, so Michael's ashes are hidden in the paint. Mm-hmm. So Klaus made this nice painting, but Elijah happened to figure it out, and Klaus didn't seem all too pleased with this, and they got into a big brawl.
Kind of.
Well, the brawl was more over the fact that he helped Haley take the baby out of there.
Right. Haley... Klaus left Elijah with Haley right after Klaus admitted to killing Aiden. And then Elijah was like, "No, go ahead, Haley. You're right. The only way to hide Hope is to go into the bayou where the wolves could protect her and where nobody can find her." Mm-hmm. They had the magic bracelet, on Hope. Mm-hmm. So Dahlia can't track her magic anymore. So it seems she's safe for now.
Or so we think. I mean, maybe Dahlia has another method of tracking her.
It's possible.
Supernatural beings are magical themselves.
True.
Haley is a hybrid. Jackson is a wolf. All the other wolves are wolves. They're werewolves.
All hybrids now.
They're all hybrids. They all have magic in them that can be traced. Dahlia is not stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the midst of all this, Klaus is like, "You did what? You let Hope go what? Why?" And then they just brawl and break down the art studio. They're rolling around. I was waiting for them to roll around and paint and create like a mural on the floor,
ruin another one of Elijah's nice suits.
Yeah, Elijah's ruined how many suits this season?
Quite a few, actually. Whereas, the first season, he barely got a scuff on his suits. It's like...
And now this season, he's torn, ripped, shredded, blown up.
Oh, no.
Got covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the blood one probably could have gone to the dry cleaners and maybe okay. But knowing how Elijah is, he probably just burned it.
Right, and like I've said previously, Elijah is 1,000 years old. He probably has a vault of suits in every country on the planet. So no matter where he is, there's a suit handy.
I mean, it's easy enough for him to just walk in and be like, "Give me a suit." And then the people be like, "Okay."
But it won't be tailored to fit.
Maybe they'll...
He can compel them to do it.
He can compel them to tailor the suit and then forget about it.
Yeah, but then he's going to wait for it to get tailored. It takes time.
Does it look like he gives a shit about time?
Elijah's a very patient person.
Not when he's in a rush.
I'm pretty sure he takes a time to get a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Where he doesn't have to be in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, Elijah daggers Klaus. The dagger that Davina and Cole crafted and transmutated actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
And Klaus was utterly shocked.
He was.
Yes, he was shocked, and he saw Rebecca and Freya walk in the room before he completely just went stone-faced or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like
So-
legit his entire family.
Yes, he knows they were
And
all,
keep in mind, when he had to enter Cole's mind, he knew what Cole was up to. So even keeping that in the back of his head, he knew his entire family betrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Elijah. It was Cole. It was Rebecca. It was Freya. Like, the entire family was in on this.
So when he wakes up, he is going to be very mad.
He's gonna be pissed, but you know what? He was so... he brought it on himself, first off. I mean, that's what he gets for admitting to killing Aiden when he actually didn't. But among other things, like his recent wave of paranoia, and I gotta understand why he didn't trust Freya and all that stuff. But, you know, his recent behavior, he's got himself to blame.
Is he? How mad do you think he's going to be when he wakes up?
On a scale from newborn puppy to atom bomb,
No, that's not even a scale that even works. He's just gonna be so
Nikki.
He's gonna wake up and the first person he sees, he's gonna rip their head off. It doesn't even matter if it's somebody that... It could be Hope in 15 years. He wouldn't know. And he'd rip her head off. He's not gonna know. And he's just gonna get so mad, he's gonna be seeing red and he's gonna kill everything in his fucking path. But that is not the most disturbing part, though. I mean...
Mm-hmm.
Dahlia was counting on all of them to go against Klaus, because we heard her little jingle in the background after it happened. She knew exactly.
Yeah, Klaus going after, admitting their little scuff that they had after he admitted to killing Aiden, and all that stuff. Oh, I forgot who said it. Elijah, maybe.
It was Elijah.
Yeah, this is exactly what Dahlia wants, us to fight amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happened again. Klaus is out of the picture. That's one... I mean, Dahlia was very confident that she wouldn't have a problem dealing with Klaus and everybody else. But now that's one ridiculously tough obstacle out of her way.
Yeah.
And he is a tough obstacle because you could never know what he's going to do.
Right.
And I think Dahlia knew that he's so unpredictable. That's a strength for that group of people.
And I gotta say, for Dahlia, congratulations. By the time she reached the year, 1100 years old-ish, she has mastered the art of being fucking creepy.
Yeah, she's super creepy. But getting back to Klaus for a minute, don't forget, Klaus has done this very same thing to every single one of his family members, with the exception of Freya, because she wasn't around to do it to.
No.
If she was, he would have.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
So, does he have any right to be mad when he wakes up?
Well, first, now he knows how it feels, and that is probably what every single one of them is going to say to him.
Mm-hmm.
He may not have the right to be mad, but he's gonna be.
Of course he's gonna
That would be extremely hypocritical, because as soon as they wake up, he expects them not to be mad at him. I was like, really?
I mean, Klaus is pretty hypocritical all around.
He really is.
He does a lot of things that, he probably shouldn't have hissy fits over, because anybody else would if he did that to them.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious if how long Klaus is going to stay daggered for. How long do you guys think it's going to be to the end of the season? Do you think it's going to be an episode?
Middle of next episode.
It's not going to be long, because Dahlia's going to come guns a-blazing, and they're going to need him.
No, you know what? Here, I'm going to make a prediction right now. 20 minutes into the next episode, he'll be undaggered.
Or maybe, there's limited, holding magic in the dagger. It might work initially, but the magic might peter off over time. It might not be stable or constant.
What I would like is for them to defeat Dahlia, or have Dahlia take Hope, one or the other, as the end of the season. Klaus is still daggered. Then season 3 comes in, they undagger Klaus, and it's in the future. We're time jump 10 years, so now you can have Hope actually be like a teenager and have some character development and stuff like that. That would be a really cool way to do it.
They might you know what, that makes sense now. They might do a few years, because it kind of seems like they're going to have to do that with the Vampire Diaries too.
Right.
We know they kind of try to stay in the same line of time. So I'm thinking that's actually really good. I think that's very logical for both of the series.
Because we do know that the Vampire Diaries, the last episode, is going to have a time jump.
Like a flash forward, yeah.
Yeah, it's they're going to do a flash forward. We don't know if that's going to be the final scene or if there's legit, like, if they're just jumping ahead in time. When they say flash forward, I think of Lost, how they look into the future and then come back. But for all we know, next season of Vampire Diaries may be in the future as well. It may be after that flash forward.
True.
So if that's the case, if Vampire Diaries does take the time to do this, they could remain in the same timeline.
True, but I hope that Vampire Diaries doesn't. Like, the flash forward is just a showing what happens, like a brief showing at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But that's not a permanent time jump because... hold on, real quick. And then the Originals does that whole 10-year jump that you just said. I was thinking about this when we started talking for this episode. Klaus... You know that Klaus is never in any danger. There is no suspense. Why? Because we know if Klaus dies, Damon, Stefan, every single one of those vampires from the Vampire Diaries dies instantly with him.
Right.
So, as long as that show is still going on, Klaus is never in any danger. Because it'll wipe out the cast of that show.
That's not 100% true, because they just devised a way in season 5 of the Vampire season. I think it was season 5. It was just before the Originals, where they were going to transfer Klaus to a new body to kill him.
Right.
Where he wouldn't have been a vampire if they killed him when he wasn't a vampire, and left the body alive without Klaus's soul in it, then he still would have remained, like, the bloodlines still would have lived on.
Right.
So that whole thing that Esther was trying to do, turn them all mortal again, I think if they succeeded and Klaus was to die in that way, the vampire bloodline would still live on. There's some loopholes. They could do it, but yes, Klaus is... He's pretty much not in any
his body,
danger.
The body Klaus is in right now, Klaus is not in any real danger.
Yeah.
So if they do a flash forward, because we already theorized that Vampire Diaries is ending in a couple seasons. If they flash forward 10 years, that means they're 10 years in the future. Vampire Diaries is already over with, as far as show timeline is concerned. So then Klaus is actually in some real danger because we have no more characters tied to him that we have to actually give a crap about if Klaus dies.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We say that possibly a couple more seasons, but
I know this is all.
I know, but who's to say they might end up going like more than 2? They might end up squeezing 4 more out of these people because we all know Damon, Stefan, they are very interesting, and a lot of people are connected to them more than Elena. Like, I'm more of a fan of Damon Stefan than I ever was for Elena. And they could do a flash forward of Elena in 10, 15 years, whatever, but it doesn't mean that next season they still can't do a jump and do a couple more years. Go from 2015 to 2017, wherever they're set. They could still do that. And if the Vampire Diary does it, the Originals will probably follow suit.
Yeah, I would like to see it, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. I want it to be that way, but I'm gonna predict that Klaus is gonna stay daggered for at least an episode or 2.
Yeah, I don't suspect it going very far.
I don't expect him to be
He's like the lead of the show. They can't just like take him away.
No, exactly. I mean, him and Elijah, they're like the leads.
I can see him dreaming, like having dreams, and like maybe next episode's going to be an Era episode where he's actually, walking in the Viking forest where he's from or whatever, and he's experiencing life as he's not experiencing his life, but he sees his childhood self, and his teenage self and stuff, kind of like dreams until he wakes up and he's like, oh shit, hope.
Yep. Next week, the episode is called City Beneath the Sea.
Atlantis?
Yeah, maybe.
Very, yes.
That leaves us three episodes left.
3 episodes left.
Yep. looming deadlines, and enticing propositions. When Dahlia devises a clever way to get Klaus's attention...
He's awake.
She reveals some startling details about Baby Hope and leaves him with an enticing proposition to consider. So Klaus is definitely awake. 100% confirmed. Elsewhere, while Elijah and Freya find themselves with opposing views on how to best handle Dahlia's looming deadline, Rebecca, Davina, and Cammy work together to come up with their own strategy. Meanwhile, following a tense standoff between Elijah and Jackson in the bayou, Haley is left to make a difficult decision about her and Hope's future. Finally, Vincent, who is eager to leave his witch past behind him, approaches Davina with an offer that leaves her intrigued.
He's probably gonna pass his powers on to Davina somehow, so that she's more powerful.
That would be interesting.
That'd be cool. So I looked up City Beneath the Sea. It's a song from a few years back. It's about New Orleans. And New Orleans is below sea level, technically.
Interesting. That about does it, guys. Nikki, where can people find you?
Twitter? They can find me on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
She starts the show with such enthusiasm.
Mike, where can people find your enthusiasm?
They can find me on Twitter here at Philodrin.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Do. You
can also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows.
Yep.
Till next week. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
What the heck is that? I gotta go back. What is that?
It's supposed to be Foxy from, Five Nights at Freddy's.
And it's made out of perler beads.
Yeah, perler beads.